If you're watching this video, you're probably a content creator, and as a content creator, we all know one thing to be true. Anything that makes the process faster and easier is a good thing, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. So today we're going to look at how the Riverside platform can be used to make content a bit differently than traditional methods, but streamlining the process. For the full disclosures, Riverside did reach out and asked if I wanted to share my thoughts on the platform, but that's in part because I've actually been a paying customer of Riverside for nearly 2 years at the time of making this video. No money changed hands, but they are providing a free, no obligation trial of Riverside to anybody who clicks the link in the description below, as well as 15% off to anyone who signs up to a plan using the code MattLiller at checkout. So if you watch this video and you want to check out Riverside for yourself, just click the link below. So we've entered the Riverside platform and we're going to record a new video. First thing we're going to do is select our inputs for our camera and our microphone and our speakers. Speakers really doesn't matter for this. First off, for our camera, I'm going to select Camlink 4K without getting into all the specs. If you want to record in 4K from a mirrorless camera into a computer, you typically need a capture card, and so that's what that is. I've got my microphone selected. My Holly Landelark M2 is going to be my input. I'm going to select that I'm not using headphones. Again, it doesn't really matter for these purposes. And then join the studio. And so now I'm in the Riverside studio and I can begin recording a video. Now, foreshadowing a bit to something we're going to do a little later on, it's helpful if we're lined up in the middle of the frame. And so now that we've got everything looking how we want it to look, all we have to do is click the record button. We get a little countdown just to let us know that it's about to start. And now we are recording. So I'll do a little recording right now. Hi friends, my name is Matt. On this YouTube channel, we talk about tips and tricks as well as products and services to make the YouTube creation process faster and easier. All right, and now all I have to do is hit the stop record button, give it just a moment or two to process, and then we've got our video. A really cool feature of Riverside is the ability to put notes on the screen while we're recording or use them as an actual teleprompter. So at the bottom, we're going to click script, and you can see we can pick script or teleprompter. If we click script, it just puts the notes at the top of the screen. If they're more than one page, we can just scroll down. However, if we click teleprompter, we see it brings it up this teleprompter type screen, and we can click how fast or slow we want the text to scroll. I think for me, somewhere around 28 is about what I need. I'm going to click play, and I'll actually read through it while we're doing this. So today we're going to talk about the basics of camera settings and specifically the exposure triangle, which are ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. Now, actually, you see right there, it was actually a little too fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock that down. Let's go down to 20, speed 25. We're going to reset that, and let's try it again. Today, we're going to talk about the basics of camera settings and specifically the exposure triangle, which are ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. First, we'll talk about aperture, which is how much light goes through to the camera sensor. The higher the number, the less light, and the lower the number, the more light. Admittedly, the recording features might not be overly groundbreaking, but the editing features are really where Riverside stands out. And that's because you can use a text-based editor. So instead of chopping up portions of your video and what stays and what goes from the timeline itself, you can actually choose what stays and what goes from the transcript that's on the left side of the screen. If there are any words or sentences that I want to take out, all I have to do is highlight them in the transcript, hit delete, and you'll see that they're not only grayed out or stricken through in the transcript, the timeline itself is actually grayed out, so it's out of the timeline. So I have a sample video here where I'm just talking about a gear setup. I'm going to go through and I'm going to edit it with the text-based editor. So one thing that I did here that's going to save me some time is, as I went through the lines, if I messed up, I said something like nope, or that wasn't it, or something like that to mark the bad takes. But I also marked the good takes by, when I got the line right, I said something like, yep, that was it, got it, let's keep that one, something like that. And so when we're editing in this text-based editor, I'm going to see that, and so I'll be able to take out the I'll take out the bad takes and keep the good takes just a little bit easier. So now I've gone through with my text-based editor, I've taken out the bad takes, I've kept the good takes, and here's what we have. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about our YouTube gear setup. First, we're going to talk about the camera that we're using right now, and that's the Sony ZV-E10 Mark I. There is a Mark II out now, but we're using the Sony ZV-E10 Mark I. I find this camera is plenty sharp, plenty good. It works great. I love it, and it's a great bang for the buck. The microphone you're listening to right now is the Godox Cube S wireless microphone. It's a great microphone. I'm using it with USB-C. It also comes in a Lightning version. It plugs right into your phone or your computer and gives a great audio quality. And for my key light, I'm using the Amaran 300C with a small rig softbox, providing plenty of soft light on my face to give a great look for this video. And of course, when I export the video, it will be in 4K quality. This is just a low-res preview that we see on the screen during the editing phase. Another important thing to highlight here is you don't have to film your video from within Riverside in order to edit from within Riverside's editor. We can choose upload from the beginning, or we can even upload an outside video from within the editor, so there's even more versatility. And I'll also point out that after all that, if you want to put some finishing touches on your video in Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro, you can just export an XML file straight from Riverside into your editor of choice. Otherwise, you can just export your video straight from Riverside and post it wherever you want. Next up is Captions. Now, we used to have to do this manually, but now a number of platforms, including Riverside, lets us do this automatically. Captions are more often used with vertical content than horizontal content, and so to change the aspect ratio on our video, all we have to do is change it from 16:9 to 9:16 here up at the top. Then all we have to do over here on the side, there's a button for captions. We click that so we can scroll through different styles that we want. And there's some more customization after, so we can just pick the one that we want. I'm going to click that one. Then we can even resize it how we want it to be. We don't like that one. We like that one. And we can even change it how many lines we want. We can make it a little tighter, put it in the middle, and we can let this play. Super important that YouTube videos start with a great hook. This is the first 30 seconds of a long form video or the first 3 to 5 seconds of a short form video. It's important that the hook be engaging and confirm to the viewer that they'll want to keep watching. So there's actually something interesting here in that it actually got one word slightly off. So it says it's important that the hook be engaging and confirmed to the viewer. It's actually supposed to be confirm. Because we have such control over the text, I can actually just change that and confirm to the viewer if I could type correctly. So now that should have changed that. The hook be engaging and confirm to the viewer that they'll want to keep watching. And of course, we can export this and it's ready for social media. It's super important that YouTube videos start with a great hook. This is the first 30 seconds of a long form video or the first 3 to 5 seconds of a short form video. It's important that the hook be engaging and confirm to the viewer that they'll want to keep watching. Maybe I saved the very best for last, but Riverside has a brand new AI voice feature that's really cool. Now, there's a page explaining what it is, what it isn't, and how it's used, but the short version is that it uses an AI model of your very own voice to read whatever you type. Here's a sample. Here's the sample that we're going to use for this test, and I'll read it out loud for reference. On this channel, I help content creators by highlighting audio and video tools that can level up our videos. I'm going to click Generate AI Voice, give it a few moments to process, and we'll check in and see how it does. The results are in, so let's see what we have. On this channel, I help content creators by highlighting audio and video tools that can level up our videos. I gotta say, that ain't bad. Now, there are a few really cool use cases for this AI voice feature for YouTube creators. The most obvious might be a voiceover over top of B-roll, or if you're doing an ad read. Now, it could really be invaluable if you get into an edit and realize you forgot to say something you needed. You could fire this up, get some B-roll, and voila, problem solved. Now, this video certainly isn't comprehensive, and these are just some of the ways that we can use Riverside to create YouTube videos faster and easier. If you want to check out Riverside for yourself with a free, no obligation trial, click the link in the description below, and you can use code MattLiller at checkout for 15% off of any plan. If you'd like to see me make a separate video about using Riverside to create a podcast or a video interview, let me know in the comments, and you can click here for more videos to help on your content creation journey.